The inverter is the next system we're going to talk about, and the inverter is the connection between the 12-volt system and the 120-volt system. The inverter takes power from the batteries, converts it into 120-volt AC, and sends it to the receptacles, just like what would happen if you were using your shore power or your generator. Just a note on that is that there's really no difference between using the generator and using shore power, but there's a fairly big difference between using the inverter. The inverter is going to be for use for items that are going to be not high power. The maximum, the size of the inverter is 1,000 watts, but we never come anywhere close to that. You do not want to use the inverter for anything that's going to generate heat. So no electric kettles, no heaters, no hair dryers, no microwaves, anything like that. It's going to be used primarily to run the television, to charge phones or anything from the AC outlets, a vacuum cleaner, a power drill, things like that where you need AC. You can use it to charge your computer. It is a pure sine wave inverter, so it's a good signal quality, a good AC sine wave, so you don't have to worry about damaging sensitive electronics. There's also in the overhead cabinets up here a little small blender that you can use if you want to make a smoothie or blend up vegetables or whatever it is you do with a blender. So as I mentioned earlier on a previous video, this here just inside the door to the left below the sink is the inverter controller. There's an on-off button here. You see I/O, and you push this button right here in the middle, hold it on until the green status light comes on. Before you do that, make sure the bottom breaker is off before you turn the inverter on. And we're going to go and check that right now. So I'm at the back of the coach at the AC panel around the back here. I'm going to simulate that the slide is in, so I can't see the panel very well. I'm going to reach around until I can feel all the circuit breakers. I go down to the bottom one. I see, oh geez, it's actually in the same position as all the others, which I don't want it to be. I want it to be off. All the others are on. Flick that off. And then to show you that in reality, because the slide actually is not in, you can see this button right here, this one. The bottom one is actually in the off position, so we're ready to actually turn on the inverter now. We're back at the inverter control panel. So I'm going to press and hold this button for a couple of seconds. You'll see the green LED turn on. And then you just heard, I'm not sure if you heard it, but the microwave oven just turned on. So even though the microwave turns on, do not use the microwave for being powered from the inverter. If you do need to use the microwave, start the generator if you don't have shore power. You'll notice that the time delay between turning the inverter on and turning or having the electricity actually come on is quite a bit shorter than when starting the generator. It will come on within, I don't know, 10 seconds or so when using the inverter, and it's going to be 30 to 45 seconds once the generator turns on or shore power turns on. It takes a lot longer. That is normal. So now we've got power going to all of the receptacles in the coach, and again, just making sure that we're not going to be using any high-powered devices. No microwaves, nix on the microwave. No furnaces, no electric heaters, no hair dryers, etc. If you do that, you will cause damage to the inverter potentially, and that will be an expensive repair. To turn off the inverter, just come back over. In fact, this is an important point, because even though there's nothing really turned on, this thing is still pulling power from the batteries, even though we're not using anything. So if you were to forget and leave this on overnight while you're sleeping, you're going to wake up in the morning and your batteries could be lower than you expect. So make sure when you're finished with the inverter, turn it off. Press and hold it until status light goes out. Now we're off.